Hi everybody. I thought I would hop on today and do a video on how I stay healthy through the cold and flu season and what I do when I do, if I should get sick during with a cold and flu. I kind of wanted to tell you what I do because I'm all about frugality, and I wanted to let you guys know what I do to stay frugal during sick times. We're still kind of in the cold and flu season. We're just about ready to come out of it, but I still know plenty of people who are getting sick. So I just thought that I would hop on and tell you. Quite frankly, I usually don't get sick. It sounds weird, but I usually don't. Any colds and flu that go by, I usually don't get them. There's always the exception. I will say a couple weeks ago, I was down with a terrible cold slash flu, whatever it was. But I'm under a lot of stress right now, so that's probably why. But normally, I don't. Even when I'm exposed to it, I don't get it. And I don't take vitamins or anything like that. There is one thing that I do that I feel is the reason why I never get sick, and I'm going to tell you at the end of the video. So watch through till the end, you guys. Okay. So one of the first things that I do is if I should get cold and flu, or even if I feel a few sniffles coming on, this one thing that I do, and I always did it for my kids, and I still do it for my grandkids when they don't feel well and they come over, I use a vaporizer. You can get them for around $20. They used to be 10, but you can get them for around $20 at Walmart. And they have a little, I should have brought it with me and so I could tell you about it, but they have a little vaporizer liquid that you can put in it to make it be like minty, mentholy through the air. I don't find that works very good, and you don't need it. You don't really need that. It comes with it, I think. Maybe not, I don't remember. But anyway, I think it comes with it, and you don't really need it. You just put the vaporizer in the room at night, and I'm telling you, you guys, if you have a coughing problem, because a lot of times once you lay down, coughing starts. Well, my granddaughter was here just a couple weeks ago, and she has a terrible cough, and at night it bothers her terribly. Well, I took the vaporizer out at night, and the minute that vaporizer started going, it took a few minutes, I would say maybe 15, 20 minutes to get the air, the moisture in the air. She stopped coughing. But the minute she lay down, terrible coughing spells. So vaporizer, I find that when I have a cold and I lay down at night, that's when you stuff all up the worst, and that's when the coughing is the worst. But a vaporizer helps out with that. Now, the way I just use mine that I got at Walmart, like I told you, and all you do with a vaporizer is I use water right out of the tap. And you have to put in some salt. For whatever reason, it requires that. If you don't put any salt, it won't vaporize the water. And if you put too much salt, it will get overheated and do it too quickly. So I usually just take my salt container and do like a palm full and then throw that in. And that works well. So vaporizer, that's my number one. That's when I get sick. One thing I do to and I just wanted to mention, I don't get sick often with colds and flu or anything viral or anything like that. I do have chronic severe migraines, so I get those all the time. But as far as getting sick from a viral or bacterial infection, very rare for me. Okay, so the second thing that I usually do is I use essential oils. Now, it's very controversial. There's a lot of people out there that are against them and have a lot of, both sides of the story have, oh yes, there's scientific facts proving them. Oh no, there's not scientific facts. You know what, guys? I go by how I feel with them. If they work for me, I'm going to use them, and I have some that work really well. There's one out there, I don't know if I can even say it, but I'm going to, because this is what I use, and I've used it for quite a few years. I was a distributor for Young Living Essential Oils for 15 years. I'm not anymore. I'm no longer affiliated with them, but I got onto this one essential oil that I'm telling you, I swear by it. It's called Thieves. Just like a thief, like somebody that steals stuff, it's called Thieves, and it's a blend of a bunch of different essential oils, and I'm telling you guys, it works phenomenal. They used to, I use the oil still, and they used to sell a kind of like a cough drop that was a Thieves cough drop, and I'm telling you, that thing worked like a charm. You chew, eat it, let it dissolve in your mouth just like a cough drop. And oh, it worked great. They don't make those anymore, and I don't know why, because they worked fantastic. I used to work at a place where people were sick all the time, and I would give them those thieves lozenges, and they would say, yeah, that made me feel better. So I'm telling you, this Thieves is the name of it. I don't even know how. I think it's probably $30 for a little vial of it. But anyway, it works fantastic. There's a whole dental line too. They've got toothpaste and mouthwash, and I think there's a soap. There's an antibacterial hand thing, but my thing is the oil itself, the essential oil itself. What I do is I put it on the bottom of my feet before I go to bed. Oh, actually, anytime during the day, but if I'm feel like I'm coming down with something, or if I go to bed sick, I put Thieves on my feet, and I'm telling you, it works like a charm. If you think about that, that's kind of like along the lines of reflexology. Yeah, oh, I wanted to bring my chart. I have a chart with all kinds of shows all the spots on your feet where your different organs are associated with those spots on your feet, and so if you it's reflexology. So anyway, Thieves on the bottoms of your feet. There are a few others that I use when I have a migraine. I like to use peppermint. And I use them neat. I don't mix them with anything. And they say, don't do that. But I do. I use them neat. So peppermint I use with my, it clears your sinuses beautifully. When I have a migraine, I get stuffy. And what I like to do with it, if I'm super duper stuffy, and I mean nothing can go in, nothing can go out, I will take a little pot of water, just with a little bit of water, get it boiling on the stove, and then I drip in some peppermint, and I put my head right over it and let the steam come up. And boy, you want to keep your eyes closed because it's going to sting if you get it in your eyes. But if you do that, it gets in you breathe it in, and it gets in your nose and clears you right out. It works beautifully. Two other good ones that I really don't use. I usually stick with the Thieves when I don't feel well. Yeah, oregano and rosemary. Those are super duper fighters of viral stuff and bacterial stuff. So keep that in mind. You're going to smell like a pizza when you put oregano on, but who cares? If it makes you feel good, do it. There's a few other oils that I use. They're my standards go-tos. Lavender I use all the time for relaxation and for skin issues. If I have a cut or a pimple or something on my face that, or anywhere actually, that isn't healing, or if my grandchildren do, then I'll put lavender on the bottoms of my feet before I go to bed. That's a good one. And also, what was I going to say? Oh, geranium is a really good one for skin. It's almost better than lavender. But if you've got sunburn, then I do kind of dilute it a little. If you've got a sunburn, to put on lavender or geranium, boy, that clears it right up. If you do it one night, you wake up the next morning and the sting's gone. I mean, telling you guys. Whether you believe in them or not, just give them a try, because they do work. Okay, so the next one, the next thing that I do that's a preventative is I sleep. For me, personally, sleep is like a magic bullet. If ever I don't feel good, I just sleep. And when I get my migraines, that's how I have to get over them. I have to just sleep. But if I'm not feeling good, and sometimes when you have a cold or a flu, you're stuffy and you really can't get to sleep, then I would use the lavender to try to get yourself to sleep, because sleep, to me, it's a magic bullet. It sounds simple, but it's like drinking water. Those are the tried and true things. You gotta do them, because they really do work. So get lots of sleep when you don't feel well, or when you feel something coming on. The next thing I have is you guys have heard me talk a million times about my homemade bone broth. And I always have some in my freezer, most of the time in my refrigerator too, but I sip warm broth when I don't feel well, and boy, it's great. Another good one is tea. A lot of people drink juice, but I can't the juice is too acidy for me. I have a lot of stomach issues. And even tea is not, it will burn my stomach sometimes, but if I do an herbal one, that's a good one to use. So sip homemade bone broth. That's what I use, and it just makes you feel so good. The next thing I use is if I feel myself coming down with, or especially if I have something, and oh my gosh, like if you're sick with a cold and you've got to go to work, you don't want to go to work. I mean, you feel like crap. So what are you going to do? What I do is I take Airborne. That Airborne was created and invented by a teacher. I mean, who needs to be prevented from sickness more than teachers or doctors or somebody who's dealing with the public? But it was invented by a teacher, and I find it works quite well. It's quite pricey, so I don't usually, it's rare that I take it, but I feel it works quite well. So Airborne. The next thing I do is, it's very simple, but I wash my hands frequently. I definitely wash my hands frequently. That helps tremendously. The minute I walk through the door, when I get home from somewhere, I wash my hands. Whatever germs are out there in the world, I want to leave them out there in the world. And I think that makes a big difference. So wash your hands frequently, guys. Let's see, what did I want to add to that? I don't necessarily, use I don't like the antibacterial, what do you call those, lotions and stuff that you put on your hands, antibacterial creams. I don't like to use those things, but I wash my hands frequently. Even if you're out on the go and you know you're going to be gone all day long, bring a wet washcloth in a baggie. You can wipe your hands on it. I also like to keep antibacterial wipes in the car. And that way, when you're somewhere and you need to wash your hands, you've got that. The next thing I do is, okay, you guys, this is another really controversial thing, but I'm telling you, I swear by it. I do energy work. Every day, I have an energy work routine that I do. And depending on, right now, I do it once a day. But if I find myself under a lot of stress, I'll do it more frequently. Twice, and if I think it's super duper stressful, or I'm feeling myself coming down with something, 3 times a day. This is the book that I read, and I started doing this energy medicine. It's Donna Eden, Energy Medicine. I'm telling you, this book, look at the tabs I have on it. This book is loaded with the best information, tons of information in that book. Well, I actually have toyed with the idea about becoming an energy medicine practitioner, so that you can do that for people, because that's how big of a difference I find that it makes. Here is my little routine. I actually went to a practitioner here that was a little close by to me for a little bit, and this is what she gave me. Look, it's all written all over, and this is her, Donna Eden's, daily routine, and this is what I do. So let's see. This is what I do. Every day I go through this routine. It takes me about 15 minutes. And I do this routine, this is her, Donna Eden's, daily routine. And I also have written down, I've gone on the YouTube and gotten her videos, and she does, and the book also mentions it too, you trace your meridians. And I'm not kidding you guys. It sounds crazy. You guys will all say, oh, it doesn't work. No, it works. I'm telling you, I never get sick. This stuff works. This is a major reason why I feel good. Not only does it help me physically, it helps me mentally. If I find myself with, you know how you get worrying about something, I tend to be a worrier. And if I start to worry, and how that just runs through your mind, something happened and it runs through your mind like incessantly, and you just can't stop it, this will stop it. There's a couple things that she does in here that I do on my daily routines that I think is the reason why. But anyway, you guys, this energy work, it works great. Go on YouTube, find Donna Eden, Energy Medicine, and watch what she does. She'll tell you how to do all of her stuff. But buy the book. I got mine on Amazon, and I'm telling you guys, I swear by it. I've probably done that, is it 2 years? It'll be 2 years in October. I've been doing that energy routine. And like I said, I never get sick. So you guys, we've come to the point. This is my number 1 tip for preventing illness when you don't feel good. It is my neti pot. This is a neti pot. If you guys have never heard about it, go online and do some searches on it. It's a porcelain it's called a neti pot, and all it does basically is you rinse out your sinuses. That's what it is. I started using this. I'd heard about it before, but I never used it religiously until probably, let me think, this is probably 8 years ago. I found out I have sleep apnea, and I started using a CPAP machine. Well, ever since I use a CPAP machine, I have constant, unending sinus infections and earaches. Well, I found a little routine that I do. It's my neti pot that I do twice a day, and I have to take Claritin once a day, and I have to take it every day, even throughout the winter. But that's kind of like my little routine to keep my sinuses free. I do still have earaches every now and then, and my sinuses bother me when I have a migraine. But anyway, this is a porcelain one. They have plastic ones, I think, but I wanted porcelain so I could get it clean. The only thing I want to do is I want to get a bottle brush so that I can put it inside and get up this tube here to get it clean. All you do is there's a salt wash. You basically you clean your nose, your sinuses out with a salt wash. Now they sell a salt wash specifically for this. You're supposed to do it in a certain way. You're supposed to like boil the water with the salt in it, and that's your solution, and you keep it for only a few days and all this, that, and the other. Truthfully, I don't do that. I'm not advocating not doing that. I don't do it. I found out the correct amount of salt that I need to put in here, and then I fill it with hot water and I shake it up. I let it sit there to let the salt dissolve in it until I'm done brushing my teeth and doing my routine. And then this is what you do. You plug one sinus and you pour it in the other. And, well, actually, no, you just pour it in here. It goes in one nostril and it comes out the other. I blow my nose out, I put it in the other nostril and put it through. And I'm telling you, if you have a cold, you wouldn't believe the stuff you're going to get out of your sinuses, as gross as that may sound. It's true. And that's a good thing, because that's what's making you sick. If you have all that green stuff in there and pussy, snot, then that's what's making you sick. This will prevent that. I am telling you, this has been the answer for me. I've told more people about this. I swear by this. And what is it? It costs probably $12 to buy this thing. I've had it for what? I told you 8 years. And you use salt. It's not going to cost you anything to you. Give it a try and see how it works for you. You would be amazed at how much better you feel with it. So like I said, all you really do is you just rinsing out your sinuses. That's all it is. You're bathing your sinuses, if you want to look at it that way. But I'm telling you, this is my number one jobby for making yourself healthy. Not that I'm a pillar of health, but for never being sick, I do a pretty good job. So I must be doing something right, guys? Okay, well, those are all my tips on how to get healthy or stay healthy and prevent yourself from getting the colds and flu throughout the cold and flu season. Oh, one other thing I wanted to tell you. If I do happen to get sick, like I told you, I use the Airborne. And if you've got to go to work and you don't feel good, Airborne will do it. But I also do take Alka-Seltzer, cold and flu. That is one thing. I don't take much of it. I'm not really supposed to, because it raises your blood pressure. But I do use that. So anyway, guys, that's all. That's how I keep myself healthy, and I hope this all helps you. Give it a try, that neti pot. Telling you guys, that's the number one thing. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so below. And I hope that you have a great day. Give my video a thumbs up. I would love it. And any comments, tell me how you guys keep healthy throughout the cold and flu season. I'd love to know. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.